live. This is the Nightly Fix, powered by Foolish Club Media. Please take your ass to our YouTube channel. Like, check, subscribe, check. And then, hey, if you're on Twitter with us, please follow us. Share this so we can get this word out to the people as we continue to grow the Nightly Fix and Foolish Club Media. And if you do not like and subscribe,
what's going to happen?
I will go back in time today, and that rapture might be on the table for you. I'm just saying, yeah, we're heading there.
Have we already passed the rapture deadline?
I think we have. But we will go back in time. You know, you're right. What is it? What is the deadline? Midnight? Well, or whatever
it is. It's supposed to be the 23rd and 24th. We're also heading into the heat check territory by speaking about this. But that's cool.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you don't like and subscribe, you're going to put yourself smack dab in that situation, and you may want to be ready to listen to the heat check a little bit later on because you might need to follow suit. All right. By the way, interesting time for the rapture to potentially come. I will just say it's a really big TV night for me. I know you
get inconvenient, or like it's
not saying it's inconvenient, but Tuesday's a big night tonight. All right. I mean, had some high potential. I know Serda really scoffs at my and you do too, to be honest with you, my network television watching. But tonight we got Doc on Fox, a great show about a doctor who got in a car accident and forgot the previous 8 years of her life, and she's had amnesia. It's a great one. I'm in season 2, and then I've got High Potential. Shout out to the young lady from, I believe she was in Always Sunny in San Diego and Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, or Pittsburgh, wherever it is.
You watch television like you're a 65-year-old white man.
I don't. I watch television first off. I know there are a lot of Negroes out here watching High Potential and Doc, so that's bullshit. Yeah, there are. Yes, there are a lot of people, especially in the medical field, who check out Doc. Okay, all right. There are a lot of people who do. Okay, in High Potential,
a little expensive. That's all I'm saying.
In High Potential, sure, there are. It's an inspired, it's an acquired taste, but I enjoy it.
And you just want to watch like CBS and Fox network television.
See, listen, I'm not too good for things. I'm cultured, and I consider myself basically a Dusty Rhodes. I've dined with kings and queens, and I've eaten pork and beans. All right, like I can do it both. All right, I've got versatility everywhere. I'm not a snob like the one.
When you go to Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, I can do it all. I can go to Turks and Caicos, and then I can go to Ashdown, Arkansas. Okay, I can do it all. Okay, all right, baby. I got family in New York. I got family in Wilmot, Arkansas. All right, baby, we can do it all now. All right, there is no stuff to me. By the way, I know I'm on a late start here. I was looking for something to watch last night. I started the morning show very strong right off the first couple of episodes. I got in there. Yes, I'm working on 1:30 in the morning. Is the time that I went to sleep on the second episode. I'm in. I know I'm late. I usually don't like to start series this late when I'm so far behind, but I'm in.
I never actually watched it. It just never piqued my interest enough, and then too many people were like wishy-washy about it that it never got me, never grabbed me.
See, here's my problem with starting shows like 2 years after they, start.
Well, this is 2019, so it's even a little further than that.
Well, okay. I fall into this trap of like, ooh, this looks interesting, and then I'll watch it, and then I won't realize that, okay, they only got like 3 seasons in, and then they canceled the show. And I won't find out until like after me watching 3 seasons, they just kind of leave me at a cliffhanger, you know,
Yeah.
and then I'm just sitting there stuck. Like, I have no resolve. I don't know how this ends. I don't know what happens to the main characters. I'm fucking stuck. I've wasted 3 days of my life.
Well, I'll catch up because this is still going on. It's still on. That's how it came up. I think they're starting season 5. I did this with Mad Men, one of my favorite shows of all time. I was about 2 to 3 seasons late on Mad Men and then caught up and then got into the groove of watching it every Sunday. And I'm gonna try to catch this. Now these are hours. I did this with what's the soccer show on there with Jason Sudeikis?
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. I got in late on Ted Lasso.
I was late on Mad Men. I started Breaking Bad. Like, I don't think I started watching it until it was in like season 3 already.
Oh, I watched it after. I didn't watch it. I started it after. Started and finished after. I did that with The Wire too. I started it and finished after.
Yeah, The Wire came out a while ago.
Yeah, I need to rewatch Sopranos. I just watched it as a youngster. I wonder if I would feel differently about it rewatching it now. But big one tonight though. High potential. In your judgment, yes, Sunday we get started. We got a little Matlock and Elspeth coming, which I can't wait. But then Jimmy Kimmel's tonight, and we get done here. I'm gonna go jump in it and check out some Jimmy Kimmel and see what that is. I got that on record, and I'm guessing he's gonna bring it at least a little bit tonight. Now I don't think he's gonna do anything for this to be the last Jimmy Kimmel, but I do think he's gonna bring it, and this may be the highest ratings Jimmy's had in years tonight when this one comes out, just like it was when Colbert came back after we found out his show was going to get canceled. So I am juice. Big TV night. So, hey, Rapture, hey,
let's wait till tomorrow or something,
Do you think? But let's see what
push it off a little bit.
Let's see what happens tonight. Listen, I wanted to get to this yesterday, but there was so much with the Ravens collapsing in the Lions game and a lot to get to. But Steve, I want to get to what my favorite thing was that I saw on Sunday. Listen, Sunday was a great game of football. The witching hour was fantastic as things came down. The Eagles-Rams game was fantastic. The Texans-Jags game wasn't a fun watch, but it came down to the end. There were several games in that early period that came down to the end. The Steelers-Patriots came down to the end. But the best thing that happened was the Jets-Bucks. That was a great game, too. And Aaron Glenn, who was the defensive coordinator for the Lions, and he is now the head coach in his first year with the Jets. Now, they are 0-3. But they blocked a kick and returned it for a touchdown. And listen, we know Andy Reid couldn't pull this off. There's only about how many coaches? No one's doing it to this degree. And we'll see.
I think there's a lot of coaches that can do this, just to be clear.
You think there are?
Yeah.
I think D'Amico can do it. I think Sean McVay can do it. I don't think Kyle Shanahan can. I think he is skinny fat.
I think Kyle Shanahan could, but I think that Kyle Shanahan is so dry and
I don't think he can.
Boring that he wouldn't ever allow himself.
I will give it to you. We do have some more. We have more fit head coaches than we used to have. All right, but can Pete Carroll still get this done?
Oh yeah, Pete still goes out.
75.
Pete still goes out and throws the football around at practice and runs sprints.
I know, but not this.
Players.
But listen, if you didn't see this, have you seen this, Osita?
Nope.
Look at my man's. Watch Aaron Glenn. But this portion of the where it just really got away from him.
No,
now that is
sometimes coaches get the zoomies, man, and they gotta let it all out.
I
let the
love
energy
it.
out.
And to me, this is he's given this to us. So I'm expecting him to take it up a notch even more. I need to see more of Aaron. But that was look at my man's outfits though. is this in game? This photo, this is in game, man. My man out here, he got them tights. They got them tights. He got to pull it up to the calf. I mean, my man is working it right here, boy. This is a new time.
Trying to let the calves and the ankles breathe a little bit.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's trying to let it breathe. A little sweat go down there. I enjoyed that, man. I need that from him. I need more exciting plays from the Jets and Aaron Glenn. That made me smile. I'll tell you, anytime you're down, like Osita, if you're struggling with the Texans, if we're struggling, have to watch that pathetic offense that the Chiefs are running out there for the most part. Some other people, Fred VanVleet, who Serda did not realize was still playing in the NBA. But if you're struggling with him tearing his ACL, you're struggling, just go watch that bad boy. Just go watch Aaron Glenn.
I knew Fred VanVleet was still in the NBA. He was good last year.
Hold on. We had this conversation one time with me and B. Scott. Check out the B Block podcast every Tuesday and Thursday on Foolish Club Media, where he came out and you said, Fred VanVleet is still in the league?
I think I just was surprised that he was like not only still in the league, but making 40 part
and making $45 million a year. You didn't have that for old Fred? Yeah. Yeah, but no, man, that was beautiful. I enjoyed the hell out of that, Aaron. I appreciate you putting the cherry on the top of the sundae right there. I want to prepare myself for what I know is going to happen. And I don't believe that I've always been this way. I think the game of the weekend, hell, I don't even know. I have to look at it, but I would think the game of the weekend is going to be the Ravens and the Chiefs. But I think the game that is going to be talked about the most and the one that people are waiting for all of the extra drama stuff is Cowboys-Packers on Sunday Night Football. And we all know Jerry Jones and the Micah Parsons and David Mulugeta situation in the trade that got him to the Packers, and how the Packers before Sunday had looked like the best team in football. He got to come back to Dallas. Now, I did see that Dallas said they plan not to honor Micah Parsons in any way, which I don't think they should. But I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to annoy me. And I know they're going to do it. But I think it's really the stupidest thing if Cowboy fans go out there and boo him. And I know they're going to do it. I'm talking about I'm not talking about when he makes plays, but I'm talking about when he gets introduced or something. Like, I feel like anytime his name is said or something, they're going to boo the shit out of him the way like Cleveland did when LeBron came back, the way that Oklahoma City did when Durant came back. I think they're going to boo the hell out of Micah Parsons. And I'll be honest, those two scenarios I understand and get. This one here, I think every fan knows the reason that Micah Parsons is not in Dallas is because of Jerry Jones. It is not because of Micah Parsons. This should be more the way that Luka was when he came back to Dallas. Luka was there and he was praised, and people were giving Nico the finger and booing Nico. This is what it should be like. But I am certain that Cowboys fans are going to get out there and boo the shit out of Micah Parsons as if he was the one that put himself in the Packers uniform. And I just hate that. And they only do it just because, this is what we're supposed to. This is what fans do. He's not a Cowboy anymore, so fuck him. And fans will somehow spin this thing into it being Micah Parsons' fault that he is no longer with the Cowboys. It just annoys me.
Is there like a false narrative going around that Micah was the one who did to push for himself to leave or something like that? Or like, why do you think that that the fans won't respect, him in general?
I don't think like rational football fans think that. But there's a lot of irrational football fans who are just the kind like, just shut up and play football. He got offered a good contract from the Cowboys. He should have just taken it if he wanted to stay in Dallas. And then Jerry doesn't help things by being like, well, we made him contract offers, but he
we made him the highest
being there, and he wanted this and he wanted that, and he wanted to be the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. And like, teams put this stuff out there during contract negotiations a lot to try to like change the narrative around players. And most rational people are like, no, Jerry screwed all of this up. We're all devastated that Micah Parsons is playing for the Packers. And despite this week 3 loss, like prior to that, they look like the best team in football. And then, but there's always going to be a few fans who are like to shut up and play football. Like, oh, must be nice to make that much money to play football and you know, not have to like really work for a living.
Somebody offer me this much money, yeah. I would go out there and pay him. And Jerry made it clear, try to make, he did his rounds to protect himself as he got on with Stephen A. and Michael Irvin and all these people. And he said, we made him a contract for him to be the highest paid defensive player in football. Yeah, I don't even know that I believe you did that, Jerry, until you see it on paper. What we do know is that you tried to force him into contract negotiations and would refuse to include his agent. And then,
yeah, which is crazy to me. Like, how are you going to not include like the person that's supposed to have your back, like that's usually there for every other one of the contracts that you hand out to people and stuff like that? You're just like, oh, let's just go ahead and do this one under the table. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know. But
to Serda's point, fans are not rational, and it is one of the craziest things that I've ever that I think I experienced in the sports world is how often fans take the side of the billionaire owners as opposed to the athlete. That yes, he's the athlete financially, and the things that they do are much closer to, the everyday, fan as opposed to the owner. But they always like find a way to understand why. Well, hold on, what are you holding out for? Why won't you just agree to that contract? If somebody gave me $10 million, I wouldn't. And I was like, no, you wouldn't. If you were in their position and you were worth 15, no, you wouldn't just sit there and just take it. And so it is something that I will never understand. Again, I understand if he went and sacked Dak Prescott. I'm not saying get up off your seats and start cheering for him. Although they did in Dallas when Lucas started hitting threes, they did get up and cheer for him like he was a Maverick. I'm not saying that, but it's clear, like, it's very, very clear that Micah had made it clear. I wanted to be a Cowboy. I wanted to do this, and this is where I wanted to be. And I'm not here because, like, dude just wasn't being fair and wasn't doing business the way he should be doing business. And that's why I'm not here. But I bet you these people are going to boo his ass out of the building, which is just so stupid to me, so dumb to me. I just it is going to annoy me, and I'm trying to prepare myself. And
there's nothing you can do about it, Ron.
No, it's not.
It's going to happen.
And now like CeeDee Lamb's going to be out in this game. I think the Cowboys had multiple offensive line injuries, and they're coming off of a game where they should have played better and produced better against the Chicago Bears, and they just got dismantled. Like the Packers coming off of an upset loss to the Browns. They're going to kick the shit out of the Cowboys this weekend.
I know that. I know Micah's going to. I know Micah's going to go off. Or at least he's going to try. I mean, he may not sleep this week. And the part about it is that booing is only going to fire him up more. Like the way that he's going to get treated. You loser. You loser. The way he is going to get. It's going to push him up even more.
I bet you I won't go burn the Micah Parsons jersey that I know you have in your closet. How real are you about it? How down are you? Do you really hate this man?
I bet you some of them did. Skip, who is in the trash.
I bet there's some who definitely have. Skip Bayless. But he's a fake Cowboys fan. It's all performative. He doesn't care.
He seems to really look like he cares.
No, it's all performative. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be locked in to watch it. It is like some fans are just can be really stupid. I don't. it just blows me away. All right, let's get a little heat check in this bitch.
All right, guys, welcome to the Heat Check, brought to you by Big O, brought to you by the Nightly Fix, brought to you by Foolish Club Media. Make sure that you like and subscribe or feel the wrath of Ronald's imagination. Today, I want to talk about the end of days. As we were talking about earlier, apparently the rapture is scheduled to happen on a random Tuesday in September of 2025. And I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I didn't really, the way I kind of came across it was I was just kind of, on the internet scrolling through, and I would hear like little whispers of people say like rapture, and I was just like, I don't, is this happening? Are we talking about the old dance punk band from the 2000s, or is this like a thing? So I decided to Google it, and apparently there's a South African pastor that says it's supposed to happen not just the 23rd but the 24th.
Oh, it's a 2-day event.
It's a 2-day event. It's a rapture palooza, as they would say. Okay,
all right, that's a little aggressive.
I think I saw there's people who are like selling their cars and quitting their jobs over this.
That's what I'm saying. Now, being that I'm in the market for a new car, I was actually wondering if I might be able to find something on the cheap now that people think that the world is ending. You know what I mean? Like, if you notice during COVID, at the very beginning of COVID, okay, maybe this was just like my street, like where I live, but I started seeing cars parked everywhere that people were trying to get rid of. Like everyone was trying to get rid of a car during COVID. I don't know what it was about COVID, but like everyone was like, I don't need this car anymore. Fuck a car. The end of the world's happening. Let me just park this shit and save $5,000 on the side. So I'm hoping that maybe I can get on some good sales, because obviously I'm here, Ron's here, you're here. We're still here if it's happening,
What kind of my wife has tried to push me to get a new car for a minute, and I'm just like, no, I'm not doing it. I've got the same car, Serda, that you remember me in. I am still riding hard with that. Shout out to that Toyota Camry that I am approaching 200 miles on. And
what year is it?
2016, Jack.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I am rocking. I'm 3 to 4 years into the old no car payment. Yeah, and I'm loving it. And I love it. I'll tell you, I am loving that life. And
mine's almost paid off. I can't wait.
And Courtney's just like, no, man, come on, man. We can get you a new car. I said, no, man, I'm gonna ride this thing off. I think I can get to 350. I think I can get to 350,000 miles. I think I can.
And I'm the kind of person that like I'll just try to take care of it. Like I'm fine with it. I don't need an upgrade. I don't need like my car's almost paid off. I'm ready to go, and I don't want to have a car payment, and I'll ride it into the ground too.
I'm getting to that point. I have a 2009 4Runner that surprisingly only has like 218.
Toyota is beautiful. I mean, you just keep getting you right. I love Toyotas.
Yeah. But it's getting to that point where like little lights and stuff are starting to fucking fall apart, where I'm just like, okay, I got to get that fixed. And then now I got to get started. It's like a cascading problem of just like, oh, like I just noticed yesterday that I can tell how much gas I have only by the amount of miles I have left on that, on that tank. But the empty full thing just does not work anymore. The empty full meter just doesn't work. It's just constantly on empty. So I'm just like, okay, I guess we're just,
I've had that. I had that in a Bronco once and just had to measure it by the mileage. That's happened to me. Yeah, man, I don't know. I've had a few things. Got a little bumper issue. I probably need to get a windshield replaced pretty soon. So I mean, but just keep getting them oil changes.
Around the giant crack in the windshield.
Yeah, it's really been spreading here of late. I started measuring it, and it keeps going.
You can pay people who will come to you and just replace it.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get around to it. I just
no, you're not.
I am.
It's like you and the dentist. I feel like you're just never going
to. I'm measuring up the pricing on this. Like that. What is the Safeway? They're a little aggressive.
No. Hey, Safe Light is insane.
Safe Light. Yeah, they're a little aggressive.
Safe Flight Replace. They are insane people that try to get your money, dude. Like, they'll come to your house and everything like that, but they'll charge you like $2,000 easily.
Yeah, I'm trying to go in a different direction to get that. So I'll figure that out. But I would say I probably I don't think it's smart for me to get to Halloween. As that thing is really sliding across the window. I'll take a picture of it one of these days. But it is weird because because I think people look at me like, Ron, dude, you had the same car before you, like, while you're in I was working nights at the radio station. I was working like I was doing Royals games, and I'm still rocking this car. And I will, as you said, I will ride this bitch to the end. I'll be honest with you, I'm not real. I'm pretty embarrassed with the amount of cars I've had. Like, to people I've talked to, like,
or you had a lot, or have you just had a little?
Like ballpark. How many cars would you say you guys have had in your lives?
In my life,
I've had like 5 or 6, but remember, I had like a 3-year run there where I totaled a car like 3 years in a row and had to like keep getting new cars.
I mean, I'm probably close to the Eli Manning range. Maybe Tom Brady. I'm in the now. I have been this last vehicle I have been rolling since 2016. So this is clearly a long. I had a Camry. That was the first. No, I'm sorry. I had a Geo Tracker. That was the first car. Then I had a Bonneville. And
a Bonneville?
Yeah, wrecked that one. Got hit in the back on I-70. And I had a Camry. Then my mom embarrassed me, but as a young black kid in the 2000s, there was no expressing verbally your feelings about getting a car bought for you. But my mom bought me a Ford hatchback with bike rails and everything in high school on the top of it. It was just awful. I had one of those. I had a Ford Bronco. I had I think we're at 6 at this point.
What year Bronco did you have?
Oh, it was the old school. It was older than OJ's. It was like 80s or something. Yeah, it was old school. But the gas gauge didn't work right off the bat. I had to measure that one by the mileage. I've had a Hyundai Sonata in there. I had a Cadillac. I met Courtney in a Cadillac. And don't even get me started on that one. Like, I would get locked out. The memory would go. The computer would go dead. We got stuck. We got stuck outside of Westport one time. Like, it was. She told me on our first date, she thought my dad was picking her up. I had a Corolla that I bought at a little sale once. Got the Camry that I'm driving now. Yeah, 10 deep, 10 or 11 deep.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm sitting at 4 tops.
4 tops. I am a little older than you, so maybe that's it.
A lot older than me.
By the way, I guess we probably need to get to this tonight. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go ahead and pour one out right here
on the floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna pour one out for
on the floor. On the floor of your game room, sir.
I'm gonna pour one out for Russell Wilson. We've lost Russ, not to death, but to football as a starting quarterback ever in this league again. Jaxson Dart is going to be the new starter for the Giants. And look, you guys know how I feel about Russ. I believe he is unfairly treated by many. I think most of it is due to jealousy and just an unbelief that somebody could be as corny as he is, and that he got Sierra. after dating that very plain white girl that he had prior, or marrying that very plain white girl that he had prior to it.
I think he married her in college.
He married her. Yeah, he married her. She was very plain Jane, and then he somehow finagled that into Sierra. So a lot of people have issues with that. But when it comes to the playing football thing, Steve, after that four down series on that goal-to-goal situation in which it ended in throw up the tunnel in a intentional grounding, a quarterback sneak for 3 yards that I don't know if he called the play or whatever. And then 3rd and 4th and goal, both of them thrown uncatchable out of the back of the end zone. One of them hit the goalpost. That was it. That was the end. All right. I'll be honest, had you told me, if you'd have told me, all right, we got to see Russ against the Cowboys, and he threw for 450 and 3 touchdowns and just went off against the Cowboys. Now we clearly know what the Cowboys defense is about. But if you'd have told me after that, all right, he won't, I thought he'd make it through October. Like, I thought that was a performance that would have given him more time. No, it was that bad against the Chiefs, just specifically there. Although I do think Neighbors could have helped him on one of the other interceptions that he fired up. But yeah, man, I don't know if this is the best thing for Jaxson Dart behind that offensive line and everything they have there, but I can't argue. Even though Russ has a real soft spot in my heart for some reason. I can't argue this. Russ, it was time. It was time after his performance. Russ is just, it's over, and Russ is never going to be a starting quarterback again. And I wonder how long Russ is willing to stay in this thing to be a backup. I hope this is it. I hope this is the end for Russ. Now, I know Russ. Yeah, I hope he does. I know Russ won't walk out on his teammates here. He'll keep going. And who knows? The way Jaxson Dart is, the way quarterbacks happen, Russ may get back in there. But I hope this is it because, right, Serda, nobody else is going to look at Russ as a starter ever again.
Yeah, but I could see him still like floating around as a backup for a few years here.
I don't.
He's made a ton of money, so he shouldn't need to. But there's like Joe Flacco's made a ton of money. Why is Joe Flacco still out here playing at 40 years old? And I think Joe Flacco's got a lot of kids, but he doesn't need to be playing football still.
Yeah, but Joe also is becoming a starter. Has been a starter here recently. I know he's decided to go into the backup role, but there's a clear, like, come on, guys. Russell Wilson is going to get a job in media if he wants it. Right? There is a clear second career for him. A clear second career for him in a lot of different ways. I know they own businesses anyway. There's a clear second career. And man, like I said this, we talked about this on this pod before, right? Sierra's got to be in a spot of, hey man, what are we doing here?
Yeah, you done yet?
Yeah, we're just gonna sit here. We're just gonna sit here and ride the bench. You're just gonna be gone for 6-7 months. We're just gonna ride this bench. Like it's. I think it's about time and go ahead and grab that job over at ESPN or Fox or something. It's there for him, and Russ will get there. And I think Russ's corniness or whatever you call it. I think Russ is going to be really good when it comes to it.
Well, this is like so. The fact that Brian Dable and Joe Schoen have like had this long of a leash with the New York Giants is insane. Like they both should have been fired already. It's just, and like Giants fans, like it was a big thing going into this game against the Chiefs, where it's like, oh, the Chiefs are playing bad. What if the Giants upset them? And like lots of Giants fans on the internet were like, the Giants have a 0% chance of winning this game. Like they're so defeated by how bad the Giants have been and by how absurd it is that the people that are still in power within this organization have been there this long to be this bad. Like this is pressure from ownership to make a change because Russell Wilson just threw for 450 yards in week 2. Like, and then got And then the Chiefs were like, it was pretty simple for the Chiefs defense. They didn't really have to do that much. It was take away the deep ball, and Russell Wilson's got nothing else left that he's really that good at. And everyone knew
that.
Well,
they don't have anything else that they're good at either. Like, I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they had just guys running free. Yeah.
And so that's all the Chiefs did. And the Giants could not put together anything offensively in the second half of this game. So Jaxson Dart definitely has more upside because he's just younger. He's got mobility. He's got a big arm. Like he can just do a lot more things physically than Russell Wilson can. But this is shit. We started 0-3 and now we got to play the Chargers in week 4. So we don't want to start. We want to try to see if there's a chance we can upset that team and not go 0-4 to start the season. So let's put Jaxson Dart out there, because coming into the season, they were like, the Giants are perfectly okay with Jaxson Dart sitting his entire rookie season. And now we're 3 weeks into this. And it's like, okay, let's go ahead and put him out there.
He's played 14 years. I think it's over. He's played 14 years and he is currently on a 9-game losing streak, personally, by the way, with his finish in Pittsburgh and the 0-3 start this year. Although he probably should have beat the Cowboys if his defense was worth the damn at all. But 4 years ago, Steve, did you have him as a Hall of Famer?
No, I think we've talked about this. I don't think Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer.
I know what you're saying. I think the 4 years that since he's left Seattle has heavily, I think, taken a lot of people there. But 4 years ago, in 2021, after that season ended, then he got traded to Denver, which people thought it was going to change the Broncos, me included. You didn't think that Russ in those 10 years, obviously we didn't know it was going to break out like this, but in those 10 years, you didn't think that Russ, a Hall of Famer, a guy's a 10-time Pro Bowler, a guy who has won a Super Bowl, who is, I think for a good 5+ year period was thought to be one of the top, 5 to 7 quarterbacks in the league. You didn't think he was a Hall of Famer. I think the last 4 years has probably hurt him in a big way, but you didn't think he was.
No, and I think he had some years that would surprise people. But the problem is, like, he had a few big passing years, but I don't think a few massive like touchdown years, but I just never looked at Russell Wilson like he was like the best quarterback of a generation or something like that. He was always in that group for a while there during that stretch, but I never looked at him like he was one of like the absolute 5 best quarterbacks, I don't think, throughout his career. Like you
never thought he was a top 5 quarterback in the league?
No, but I think the 5 to 7 range is where he like peaked at. And I think he was always kind of like outside of that, but he did have a stretch where like you could probably make that argument, but I never looked at him as like a Hall of Famer. It's too hard to make the NFL Hall of Fame.
I think there are quarterbacks that I felt are worse than him. That, like, I think Eli's going to get in.
Probably just because he beat Brady twice in Super Bowls.
Got Super Bowls. Yeah, I mean, and he beat Peyton. Right? Like, he feels, and I don't know if I knew it, they're kind of different players. He feels like the Jalen Hurts of his era. Except I felt like Russ, because in that time period, like, who were the quarterbacks that were thinking in that time period? There's Aaron, there's Brady. I guess there was still Peyton in there. Like, really, like, there was that time period before, like, Mahomes was just like, Mahomes. I feel like he was in there when a place where Breeze kind of stepped back a bit. I don't know. I think the last 4 years since the Denver stuff, Pittsburgh and all of this, I think it has really taken people to a different level when it comes to Russ. Shame. By the way, I think Jaxson Dart's going to just really suck ass. And I feel bad for him. I'll be honest with you. I I've never taken him serious with that eye paint. And I know I've said this before. He does that eye paint thing that he does where he just runs it right down like he's Braveheart or something.
Yeah.
Doesn't Jalen do the same thing?
No, not like Jaxson Dart.
Yeah.
Jaxson, Jalen looks like he's maybe trying to hold more sun out. Jaxson this is a full, just one side of his face.
Yeah, I think Jalen does both sides, and there's at least like he looks like he just smears one side of his face.
This guy's like Sting or the Ultimate Warrior in there, and he is getting face paint design, and he's done it since Ole Miss, and I've just never. And I don't think he's set up great. Like,
that's why you think he's going to suck ass.
Well, listen, I know I have these weird things with me. Like, I'm weird in terms of, I think certain coaches' names lead me to believe you're not going to be a good coach. Like, I never thought Matt Eberflus was going to be a good coach because his last name is Eberflus, and I just don't think that is the name of a great coach. And I think ugly starting quarterbacks. Now, there's exceptions to rules. Shout out to Lamar, but I think unattractive quarterbacks usually don't work. I'm just saying, usually quarter like.
I like how you stuck that in there. You're like, shout out to Lamar.
and even Lamar has tried to really pick himself up, but most quarterbacks are probably handsome guys. Like you start like I didn't know about Jameis, right? Like there are some guys that I think that's a thing. The handsome guy playing at quarterback. I think there's a thing. Now I think Jaxson may have a little of that going for him, but that face paint thing, I look at that and I feel like guys look at him and be like, man, what are you doing? What is this? What is this? Braveheart? What is like what is this? And we'll see. By the way, Malik Neighbors, interesting, because he said, I'm just telling y'all right now, it ain't the quarterback's fault. Okay. Okay. All right. He probably just likes it because Russ throwing up them moon balls, baby. Go get him.
And also, he refused to say a bad thing about Daniel Jones, but like I think Malik Neighbors like, see what I did in week 2? Like Daniel Jones wasn't doing that for me.
I mean, that is weird to me that he is one that's like, no, I don't talk about Daniel. Like Malik seems like, because Malik is one of those guys, it's written all over his face. Like his face, like in how he feels. There was one play, I think it was a third or fourth down. I know he was on the field. They turned away for a second. He was already on the bench with his helmet off, like already, comfortably sitting. Just like, damn, that motherfucker just sprinted off the field and set his happy ass down and was done with it. So I don't know, man. This looks like it's gonna go bad. I think Brian Daboll is gonna get fired before the season. Because that one I don't think is fair, sir. I don't think this should now give those two a longer leash. This should be like the Matt Nagy situation with the Bears when they got rid of him.
They should have been fired 2 years ago. I don't know why they're still there.
Yeah. Especially, did you remember what they did on Hard Knocks, where like they were unaware of like rules that people should know if you're working in the front office or you're working.
Yes.
And then they sit there and they didn't know if Saquon Barkley was a difference maker. They literally had those discussions.
Yeah.
and then let him go.
They let the world see it. Like they released a clip where they're like, yeah, we just don't know. And then there's a phone call with him and Saquon where he's like, yeah, we're just going to let you test the market and see what's out there. And then
because we believe in Dan Jones.
And then if you want to come back around, like, we'd like to have a conversation with you before you sign somewhere else. He goes, signs with the Eagles, rushes for 2,000 yards and wins a Super Bowl.
And was the number one player on the top 100 voted by the players.
Yeah. Unbelievable. They should have been fired a long time ago. They're just so awful.
By the way, real quick, another weird one. I'm a numbers person. You get a bad number, I'm tripping. 6. What do you think about that quarterback number? 6. Who's the best 6? Who is a quarterback that is 6?
I don't know. I don't have a 6.
I don't have a 6. I don't have a 6 at all. I've not seen that. I'm certain there's somebody that has a 6. No, I'm talking about quarterbacks. Not the great one. I'm talking about quarterbacks.
Not Satan.
Well, I thought he was putting a crown on his head for LeBron. So yeah, you're right.